this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh. There's Chuck. Chuck, do your cheek thing. All right, I'd like to explain this to everyone. We have a little superstition here at Stuff You Should Know. And basically every time Chuck doesn't do that with his cheeks ahead of time, we have a terrible take. And sometimes I have to stop partway through. It gets so bad and do it again. And we've noticed that when Chuck does this, we have a good take. So prepare for an excellent podcast because he just did it twice.
Yes.
So we're good, right, Chuck?
I think we're set.
Yeah. So, and I feel a little bit better after you told me that this article we're about to talk about 10 Bizarre Ways to Die, was blowing up on the homepage. Because it means that there's a lot more people than me who have a morbid curiosity / fascination with death.
There are, buddy, this one and the Are There Dead Bodies on Mount Everest apparently did phenomenally well on the homepage.
They exploded on the homepage. Yeah.
And, people want to know about these wacky, bizarre deaths, so we're going to share some of them.
Yeah, we agreed we weren't going to do all 10, right?
No, of course not.
Okay. I don't know if you picked the guy from Canada, the first one, but if you didn't, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So this guy from Canada in 2008 got stuck in a sewer grate after he went after his wallet.
Yeah, very sad.
He was still alive, right? When they pulled him out by tow truck.
Yes.
But then he died. So my question is, was he crushed to death when they pulled him out? Did the tow truck kill him? Like, what killed this guy?
Well, that's a great question, and I don't have the answer. Actually, my editor, Amanda, asked me that same question. She said, how do you actually die? And I couldn't find it. I looked, other than the fact that he was stuck in a sewer, wedged several feet down, upside down for a period of hours, which can't be good for you.
But he was still alive when they pulled him out by tow truck. He died on the way to the hospital or at the hospital? I think he was alive when he came out of the sewer grate.
He was.
So, yeah.
He was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Gotcha, okay.
And this isn't the first person to die from being stuck in a sewer drain.
I know, which
is really
is
sad.
It's nuts, yeah.
And we should say we're not making light of any of these. These are very sad tragedies that have happened, but so abnormal sometimes that they,
Well, it's in the title, bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah. So
yeah, he went down to get something, retrieve something in the drain, his wallet, and after a robbery, and got stuck upside down for a period of hours, and was, like you said, pulled out by a tow truck.
Yeah.
And it was too late.
It's odd. It is. Well, that's one. I don't know if you're planning on talking about that guy or not, but I had that question.
I was not, actually.
Okay, well, give me one of yours.
Josh, I'm going to talk about the woman who died by her sheep's hand, or I guess hoofs. Yeah. And this, again, another sad tragedy. In 1999, a woman in England, she was a farmer's wife, and she was going out to feed the sheep, and she had a little ATV that I guess she rode out to where the sheep were. And the sheep were really hungry, and apparently they came at her with a lot of force and knocked her off of a cliff. And
she was parked along the edge of a quarry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they knocked her off, and they say that the sad tragedy is that she may have lived if not for her ATV falling on top of her. So that was knocked off as well.
I mean,
came down on her.
Hungry sheep.
Very hungry sheep.
Did you get an idea of how many there were?
It just said a flock.
A flock.
So.
Well, it's like 2 or more, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm thinking probably a little more than 2 to knock
enough
over
to knock
an
an
ATV and a woman. Yeah. That is kind of bizarre, again. I think that definitely falls in the category. Let me ask you, how did you choose these?
That's a good question. I thought you might ask that.
Lay it on me.
Well, I mean, you just start looking around on the internet for strange deaths and bizarre deaths, and pretty soon you've got a big master list of stories. And
did you have to pare down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Give me one that didn't
Didn't
make the list. Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of one right now. You put me on the spot.
I love putting you on the spot.
I know. I can't think of one right
All
now.
right. Well, maybe by the end of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let me give you one of mine, Chuck, which, by the way, this is just an excellent article. It's as good as numbers journalism gets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guarantee this is one of yours, too, but I'm going to just go ahead and steal it. In 1919.
Oh, yeah.
I love this one. It's just so nuts.
Yeah, it's weird.
In 1919, in North Boston, there was a neighborhood that was largely populated by Italian immigrants. And one of the big features of this neighborhood was, I guess, a huge holding tank at, I assume, a molasses processing plant or something.
Yeah.
Huge holding tank that held 2.5 million gallons of molasses. Apparently, that's a couple gallons too many because the tank ruptured and, from what I gather, exploded with molasses. There was shrapnel that was flying everywhere.
Right. So some people died that way.
Sure, but I think the most horrific aspect of the deaths that came out of that day was that 21 people were killed by a 25-foot high wall of molasses. And you know the term slow as molasses?
Right.
That did not apply in this case because the reports were that it was going about 35 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. The problem is you have that much molasses and it's traveling that fast and you get stuck in it, you're going to drown in molasses.
Yes.
And I can't imagine it takes more than one breath of molasses to drown you.
Yeah, I would say so.
But yeah, that's a pretty horrible way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the weird thing is it's apparently to this day, I understand, the residents of this neighborhood, almost 100 years later, at least, 90 years later, still say that on a hot day they can smell the molasses that took years to clean up this mess, right?
Yeah. And, of course, that's one of those things that might be lore at this point.
Sure.
But it makes for a good story.
It definitely does. But yeah,
so.
21 people died drowning in molasses, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bizarre.
Very bizarre. On to the Collier brothers.
I love these two. This is my other favorite one.
These guys were pretty famous, too. If you're from New York City, you've probably heard of the Collier brothers at some point. Langley and Homer Collier, they moved to New York, to Harlem in 1909 when they were in their 20s, and they were from an upper-crust family, kind of well-to-do. And the brothers lived together in Harlem and became hermits, basically, over the years.
Yeah, and not just hermits, but compulsive hoarders.
Yes,
yeah.
Which, we should do a podcast on this sometime.
We should. That's very interesting. I read an analysis of compulsive hoarding using the Wonder Machine, and they found that when asked to decide, like, if they should throw away one piece of junk mail or another, the region of the brain that's associated with processing very unpleasant experiences lights up like a Christmas tree.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
And from what I gather, Homer and Langley were definitely compulsive hoarders. Legendary, right?
Legendary. Apparently they accumulated 180 tons of, they called it junk in their apartment. And
I know, and think about that,
everything
Chuck.
you could think of.
That's 60 more tons than what they've got every year on Mount Everest,
right?
Which is one of the most littered places on Earth.
Right. And this is in an apartment in Harlem.
These guys had it in an apartment. Yeah.
So I think to call them compulsive hoarders is right on the money. We're talking busted chandeliers, baby carriages, smashed pianos, clocks, furniture,
so weird.
Newspapers just stacked to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Homer went blind in the 1930s and was bedridden because of rheumatism by 1940. Mm-hmm. And his younger brother helped care for him night and day and saved all these newspapers in hopes that one day his brother would regain his sight.
I know, which I found beyond sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet and strange. The other odd thing is they had their home booby-trapped.
Yeah.
Because what they did was, they moved to Harlem, and then Harlem over the years started becoming a little bit more of a rough neighborhood, and they never moved. They just, shut themselves in and closed all the doors.
Still, it's no Detroit, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they set these booby traps, and it turned out to be Langley's undoing. He tripped on one of these booby traps, and was buried beneath an avalanche of junk. And Homer was starved to death because his brother wasn't around to take care of him.
Did you get the impression that Langley died instantly, like of a broken neck or something like that, or did he possibly starve to death as well?
You know, that's a good question. I didn't get that because it didn't say. It just said that he was buried underneath a pile of junk. So he could very well have just been trapped and had to starve to death as well.
I mean, can you imagine Homer realizing that his brother's just died under a pile of junk and he's blind and bedridden? You imagine he would have been like, oh,
right, I'm toast.
Yeah, exactly. So bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre.
Yeah.
And apparently, I read this, I think it was a New Yorker article about this, and the author said that he grew up in the 1960s and 70s in New York, and his parents, that was something they would say. They'd say, you know, clean up your room or you're going to end up like those Collier brothers.
Oh,
and it was sort of
those poor guys.
I know.
I'll bet they were grossly misunderstood, too.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess it's my turn, huh?
Sure.
I call this one Death by Irony, because that's what it feels like to me every time I hear this one.
Okay.
Peg Entwistle.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was a failed actress, somewhat successful back in New York, but she got she was drawn to Hollywood land,
right,
as the sign originally said, right?
Right. Originally.
And in 1932, after a string of rejections, she
acting role rejections. Not,
thank you, Chuck.
Not romantic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow. She kept getting turned down for part after part after part, and she decided she was going to take her own life, which I call dedication to your craft, right?
Yeah.
So she climbs up to the H, but first leaves a suicide note at the bottom of it. Climbs up to the top of the H, which is like, what, 60 feet or something like that? I think it's about that. I smell some listener mail in my future.
Right.
But she climbed up to the top, jumped off, 60 feet or whatever it is. It killed her. And they found her 2 days later. And her suicide note was very apologetic and short and sweet, and she just couldn't take it anymore, right? And what kills me is that the day after she died, she killed herself, a letter arrived at her house offering her a part for the role of a suicidal woman.
Right.
Ugh!
Yep.
Yeah, that one, that's bizarre and agonizing.
Agonizing.
Yeah.
I used to, the Hollywood sign was outside my window in my apartment in L.A.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's a very cool view.
And didn't Kiefer Sutherland live in your neighborhood too?
He did.
Yeah.
Mr. Mouth Breather. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight to number one.
Okay. I like
okay?
this one, sure.
Death by unexplained phenomenon is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Even though I know it's really space aliens. In the Ural Mountains of Russia, this is 1959.
Yeah.
A group of college students, Russian college students, went hiking from Ural Polytechnic Institute. And this is in the wintertime, and so it was cold. 9 never made out of the woods, and what the investigators found was frightening.
It really was. Horrific, I think, is a good word.
Horrific.
I don't even know if this one's bizarre. It's horrific.
Yeah, just unexplained and horrific. First of all, they found their tent abandoned. It was ripped open from the inside and half buried in snow, and their shoes and like their coats and their belongings were still inside the tent.
Yeah.
So that's where we're starting with our investigation.
And there's snow everywhere. It's like winter, right?
Sure, February in Russia. The first 2 bodies were found at the edge of the forest, barefoot and dressed in their underwear. The next 3 bodies were found near there in similar state. And then 2 months later, the last bodies were found buried in the snow about 250 feet away from them.
Right.
So they're all dead.
Right.
4 of the students had massive internal injuries, broken ribs, crushed skulls. One of them was missing her tongue, which is just freaky.
Yeah.
And but they had no external wounds and no signs of struggle.
No, so they had like crushed skulls but no external wounds.
Right.
That's insane.
Yes.
But the weird thing is what they found on their clothing, right?
Well, the final victims were wearing the clothing of the other victims.
Right, but wasn't the clothing irradiated?
Yeah, they did tests on the clothing and found that it had high levels of radiation. The case records were sealed until 1990, and when the case came back open, they learned that there were bright orange spheres spotted in the sky that night by other hikers.
So you think aliens, huh?
Oh, and these people, their faces were sunburned too.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was aliens necessarily, but I think it was probably some kind of army experimentation, radiation, maybe bombs, something like that.
Yeah, that's very odd.
But, I mean, it's still, to this day, the Russian government won't own up to anything happening out of the ordinary in that area.
9 of your youth killed at your hand,
right?
Accidentally or otherwise. It makes for bad PR.
Yeah.
And you guys can't see this, but that one was clearly Chuck's favorite, because normally, like in an article, he will highlight a little passage or two as a reminder. He has that entire thing highlighted.
Yeah.
You love that one, don't you?
I do. It's really strange.
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
Doing taxes the old way meant handing everything off and just hoping things were moving. But now you can feel confident your taxes are being handled right with Intuit TurboTax. Now you match with a TurboTax full-service expert. Just upload your documents right in the app, and boom, they take it from there. Start to finish, you've got a dedicated expert working your return. They check every deduction and credit to help you get the best possible outcome, so you can feel confident you're getting every dollar you deserve. And now you're not guessing what's happening, you're seeing it happen. TurboTax gives you real-time updates on your expert's progress while you go about your day. Run errands, grab a coffee, live your life. You're always in the loop. And if a question pops up, you got unlimited expert help at no extra cost, even on nights and weekends during tax season. Taxes are finally transparent, easier, and handled. Visit TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax full-service experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Can I do one more?
Sure.
We haven't hit 10 yet, have we?
No.
Okay.
Close.
So I call this one Disco Boy, the 16-year-old kid in England.
Yeah.
1998. And if he was 16, he probably only started using deodorant maybe a couple of years before.
Right.
But he took a real shine to this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Spray deodorant, aerosol.
Aerosol deodorant, right? And apparently this kid would just slather it on all over his body a couple of times a day. Mm-hmm. And you say in the article it was so thick sometimes that his family downstairs could taste it.
Right.
Right, in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually at age 16, he dropped out of a heart attack. Right?
Yeah.
And the reason why they found he had heart failure due to levels 10 times the lethal dosage of butane and propane, liquid natural gases that are used as accelerants in aerosols, or were. And this kid built it up time over probably 2 years, man.
Right.
I mean, think about that. And it just built up in his system and finally just stopped his heart. Right. Which is just crazy to me, you know?
Yeah, apparently he used it in a very confined space, like his bathroom.
Yeah. So not only was he absorbing it through his skin, he was inhaling it as well.
Right. So we're not saying it's dangerous to use any kind of aerosol.
Well, good luck finding an aerosol deodorant these days. Aren't they illegal? At least ones with propane and butane in them?
Sure, if you say so.
We'll go to the store and look.
Okay.
You want to after this?
Yeah.
Well, I'd bring that up because I know somebody who occasionally will use Febreze in her hair to kind of like freshen up, and now I'm kind of like, I wonder
You're
what
kidding.
kind of... I kid you not.
I find that really strange.
As do I, Chuck.
Okay, good.
As do I. So, okay, well, it's 10 bizarre deaths. X number of bizarre deaths. There's still more
that you can read about.
Yeah, and I strongly recommend anyone go on to the site, read this article, a fine one written by one Charles W. Bryant.
Thank you.
And all you have to do is type in 10 bizarre ways to die in the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com.
Yes.
And Chuck, while we are here, while we have everyone's attention, because we know you guys don't go anywhere, you know listener mail's coming eventually.
You want to hear your names.
So first, exactly. First, let's talk about our spoken word album.
That's right. Josh and I and Jerry got together. Josh and me. And Jerry got together, and we recorded our first ever full-length, it's like an hour-plus, super stuffed guide to the economy.
Yep.
And we break it down, the economics on a global level, and tell you what it means to the individual, and get into some pretty complex stuff in the way that we like to do.
Yeah, I feel like we broke it down into very manageable knowledge, right? Yeah. Well, that's the Stuff You Should Know Super Stuffed Guide to the Economy.
Yes.
Which we love that name. It's up on iTunes for, $3.99 right now?
$3.99.
$3.99. If you guys want to go get it, that's cool with us. You can actually find it on iTunes by typing in Super and Stuffed, or Super Stuffed, 2 words, in the little search bar on iTunes, and I think it's the first thing that comes up.
Maybe the only thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But it is definitely the first thing that comes up. And you can find it there, like I said, on iTunes.
Great.
And I guess while we're at it, we should go ahead and plug the blog too, right? Our weblog.
Well, we have a blog now, folks. It's
Yes.
called Stuff You Should Know.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. And you can access it through the homepage, howstuffworks.com, over on the right side.
Chuck and I each post once a day.
Uh-huh.
So it's updated twice daily.
Sometimes it's news items that we find interesting. Sometimes it's something that a fan has sent in that maybe isn't full enough for a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I do a little recap on Fridays, so where we can, talk to the fans about what we podcasted about that week, and it's fun stuff.
It is fun, actually. I've kind of taken
Taking a shine to it.
Yeah. Like Disco Boy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, Chuck, I guess it's listener mail time, right?
Indeed. Josh, this is a really good one. I'm just going to call this exceptional fan mail. We get these from time to time. Remember when you brought up prosopagnosia?
Yeah, facial blindness.
Facial blindness.
Yeah.
You want to do a real quick recap of what that is?
Basically, there's a malfunction of the brain region that processes visual facial information, and so people with say it one more time, Chuck.
Prosopagnosia.
Yeah, well, facial blindness. I have a total inability to make a memory of someone's face. So seeing somebody you've known for years for the 1000th time is like seeing them for the first time.
Right.
You don't recognize them.
So we had someone write in who has this, which is very cool. So we like these first-hand accounts. So Anna wrote in and said that we could read this to our fans. So I thought it was kind of cool.
Thanks, Anna.
She said that she cannot visualize the faces of her coworkers, or anybody for that matter, but I do see faces when I look at them. This means that we can memorize features such as hair and skin color, haircut, and facial structure to some extent. Feature-based recognition like this is useless for recognizing people out of context, but it's usually enough to differentiate between people in context when you expect to see them. So in other words, she comes up with a system of how to recognize people at work, let's say.
Right.
Or, somewhere else she might go to the club.
Sure.
Secondly, we recognize voices just as well as the next person. I know a lot of people wrote in and asked that question.
An excellent point, yeah.
So that safe word thing when talking to relatives is absolutely not necessary. You were talking about having a safe word.
Eskimo or pickle.
Right, that's funny. So in the workplace, if a colleague greets me, I know who they are from their voice. Thirdly, people's body language is very individual, and although I can't recognize somebody's face, I can recognize how they walk and move, which is very individual. And that made sense to me.
Yeah, because it's just the face.
Exactly,
Yeah.
only the face. Yes, that's what she says. It's facial recognition is specialized for faces only in the brain.
Yeah.
And fourth, she says that people tend to dress similarly from day to day, and that's also a good guideline. So you develop coping strategies. Most of the time you get by well enough. Although I work at a large company, I very rarely have problems at work and with people I meet regularly, and I don't think my colleagues notice. So
That's great.
yeah, you come up with a system. It's kind of interesting. Kind of like the guy Memento would write down important things or tattoo the really important things on his own body.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Anna. You sound like a sharp tack. Appreciate you sharing all that with us. And if you want to share some tips for overcoming facial blindness or anything else, you can send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. Coldwater Creek's authenticity is embodied in every piece, embracing its confident spirit that carries through to today. Discover Coldwater Creek clothing, designed to fit your life the way you want. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
This is Julian Edelman from Dudes on Dudes with Gronk and Jules. Sunday mornings, I've got my game day ritual. Coffee, Lucky Socks, and now new morning Uncrustable sandwiches.
It's all about that 12-gram protein boost with the new Uncrustables, bright-eyed berry or up and apple flavors.
Bright-eyed berries got a feisty receiver energy.
Up and apple, your classic do-it-all tight end.
Soft, pillowy, packed with protein, and easy enough for Gronk to grab from the freezer.
Whether you're on the couch, driving to the tailgate, or heading to the locker room, new morning Uncrustable sandwiches are the MVP of snacks.
Your new Sunday kickoff ritual starts here with new morning Uncrustable sandwiches packed with 12 grams of protein.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.